Boxing fans, brace yourselves. What you're about to hear isn't just another fight recap, it's a revelation. A legend haunted by regret, a superstar exposed under the lights, and a knockout so brutal it shattered more than just a jaw. This is the story that has the boxing world divided, furious, and questioning everything they thought they knew.
How do you think the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight plays out?
I don't know. I want to make sure. I believe it once I see him in the ring.
If Paul starts his boxing career earlier, could Jake Paul have been a champion?
Is it possible?
Mike Tyson, the legendary heavyweight who once made grown men tremble, sat ringside as Anthony Joshua dismantled Jake Paul in 6 punishing rounds. When the dust settled and the knockout reality sank in, Tyson's reaction carried both vindication and regret. Not regret about his own fight with Paul, but regret that he hadn't been the one to deliver the beating that revealed Paul for what he truly is. A social media star in a sport where real fighters still exist. Because here's the truth, nobody wants to say Mike Tyson could have knocked Jake Paul out. At 58 years old, recovering from near-fatal health issues, Tyson still had the skill, the power, and the opportunities to end that fight decisively. But he didn't. And now, with Joshua swatting Paul aside like an insect, Tyson's comments have the boxing world buzzing with a truth long suspected but rarely spoken aloud.
I'll tell y'all the truth. I told y'all. They made Mike Tyson retract his statement on Twitter. They made him rewrite a post on top of deleting a post. Yeah, I told you that fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was rigged. I told you that I don't care what Mike Tyson is saying now, he have to do that to secure his money. He's still an investment for future exhibitions.
Tyson admitted it plainly. He stuck to the script. He got paid. The November 2024 fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, hyped as a bloodbath, billed as the moment a legend would humble a YouTube sensation, was exactly what Tyson described. Choreographed, a business transaction. 2 fighters who knew the assignment. Tyson would lose on points, walk away $20 million richer, while Netflix spun its narrative of the young gun defying an aging icon. Think about that. Tyson, the man who promised to humble Paul, the embodiment of raw violence in boxing, chose money over legacy. He entered a TNT stadium with the power to end Paul's story and chose instead to play a role.
On a podcast one time, and he talked about it, he said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
But Tyson wasn't the only one who saw this coming. Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated 52-0 legend, wasn't impressed. Long before Joshua's fight was announced, Mayweather warned the boxing world. When Paul began calling out legitimate fighters, Floyd shut it down. He said once Jake faced a real boxer, it would be over. He even compared Paul to elite fighters like Canelo Alvarez, saying Jake would get destroyed by any legitimate opponent. These weren't empty words. They came from a man who spent his career at the highest level. Floyd knew exactly what would happen once Paul faced someone operating in a different universe. Then came December 19, 2025, Miami's Kaseya Center, Netflix broadcasting worldwide. Anthony Joshua, the former 2-time unified heavyweight champion, entered the ring with one purpose, not just to win, but to dismantle, trained alongside Alexander Usyk's camp. Joshua wasn't chasing a payday, he was chasing a statement. Paul survived the early rounds by evading, frustrating, and moving. But Joshua was patient. He knew Paul's limitations. No power, no durability, no conditioning to last 8 rounds with a world-class heavyweight. By round 5, Joshua found his rhythm, dropping Paul with a devastating knockdown. Panic filled Paul's eyes. He rose, but everyone knew it was over. In round 6, Joshua unleashed a monstrous right hand, the same weapon that floored Wladimir Klitschko and stunned Francis Ngannou. This time, it shattered Jake Paul. He couldn't beat the count. The referee waved it off. Brutal.
Eddie, I want to follow with you because when this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, look, I really take my hat off to. I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but you know, he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. It was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one.
But the knockout wasn't the only story. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's legendary promoter, delivered the defining line. "I gave Jake his debut, and AJ may have given him his last fight." Hearn wasn't celebrating, he was issuing a warning. Jake Paul had crossed from entertainment into legitimate competition, and legitimate competition doesn't care about viral moments. Hearn explained Joshua's patience. Paul's playbook, the same tricks that worked against aging UFC fighters and washed-up celebrities, was useless against a real heavyweight champion. Speed didn't matter. Footwork tricks failed. Showmanship became a liability.
So, obviously, AJ is a fan of you, Mike Tyson. What do you think about the fight with him and Tyson Fury?
I'll tell you what, it's huge. There's something so big about it. And I think it's a big fight for British boxing, but not just that, it's a big fight globally. But we are in America, and I know Donald Trump wants it.
And here's where Tyson's angle becomes critical. Watching Joshua dismantle Paul, Tyson realized the truth. By choosing the script, by choosing the paycheck, he missed his chance to cement a legacy moment, the moment where a legend exposed Jake Paul as a fraud. Tyson got $20 million to lose. He had the skill, the power, the openings, and he chose not to take them. That's not speculation. Those are Tyson's own words.
I can't really fucking talk.
Are you in pain?
Yeah, but it's not from like talking.
Talk to me about what your jaw feels like, because you got
It's like a baseball in there.
two plates?
It just feels like
4 titanium plates.
4 titanium plates. How many do you have?
Just 1.
8 screws.
Now look at Paul's jaw. Double fracture. Surgery. Titanium plates. Teeth removed. Paul admitted he was spitting blood. In agony. That doesn't happen from a lucky punch. That's what happens when a real fighter lands clean. Tyson had the chance to deliver that same fate. He chose the script instead. And now, staring at Paul's broken jaw, Tyson is haunted by what could have been.
I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jake is doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah, a little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. But the day after the fight, the day after, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
Make no mistake, this wasn't close. Joshua dominated Paul in every way. He controlled distance, pace, and the ring. Paul landed a few shots, but they were meaningless. Joshua, even after time off and admitting he wasn't at his absolute best, still destroyed Paul in 6 rounds. That gap tells the real story. Jake Paul is not a boxer. He's an entertainer who played dress-up against lesser competition. The moment he faced a true heavyweight, the illusion collapsed.
I was hoping after this Floyd fight, maybe we can have a rematch. He did well, but I want to try it again.
Is that something that you would be interested in terms of righting the wrong and knocking him out?
I would be interested. Yes, I would. I would be interested.
Tyson sees this and confronts a hard truth. He knows he could have done the same, maybe better. Even at 58, recovering from health scares, Tyson's power dwarfed Paul's, but Tyson didn't do it. He took the paycheck. He stuck to the script. Now Joshua owns the glory, the vindication, the legacy moment Tyson could have claimed, and that regret is eating him alive. His comments now expose the deeper issue, the corruption of boxing, money, and entertainment dictating outcomes in a sport built on honor. Even legends like Tyson can be compromised, convinced to play a role instead of being themselves. Tyson didn't need the money. He's earned hundreds of millions. But history will remember Anthony Joshua as the man who exposed Jake Paul. Joshua will be credited as the fighter who dismantled a fraud. Legacy is forever. Paychecks are temporary. Tyson stuck to the script and got paid. Joshua broke the script and made history. And now Tyson is left with regret, admitting what everyone already knew. He wishes he had been the one to knock Jake Paul out. That's not boxing anymore. That's entertainment disguised as sport. And Tyson just admitted he was willing to play along for the right price.